There's a lot of things that Alchemy stars will one day explore in this story, be it characters, factions, events, etc. The number of topics range a lot, and we can possibly still explore more things that we've already experienced. But for this video, I want to talk about 3 possible topics I'm eager for the story to get into. Now, I briefly talked about this in my last video, but I really hope to see what's the deal with dragons within this game. Personally, it's just because I like dragons when it comes to anything fantasy. I mean, if anything, we got to learn a little about dragon origins with Vivian and Leona. Knowing that there are entire families out there that are dragon owners, it really makes things interesting to think about. If some of these families have any major influences within Astra, or if in some families, only particular members will get dragons and others lose out. We already have a few clues so far with current characters. Vivian's files say that every member of Platinum Drakes has a dragon companion since birth. Now, whether these Platinum Drakes refers to her entire family or a particular group within remains to be seen. I'm hoping in the future we'll either get a main story or an event that focuses on dragons. If certain families are known to be the most powerful because they own dragons, or if some are trained to go out and tame wild dragons. And even so, how different are dragons between one another? It's hard to think that all dragons are equal in strength. Some gotta be more powerful than others. Another thing to think about is the situation with Leona and Sirona, not referring to the beef they have as sisters, but the fact that they have dragon traits due to their bloodline. Sirona produced a tail from all the fighting she's done, as was mentioned in her files, and Leona got 2 winged arms coming out from her back, along with other traits. What's interesting about this is, even though they're sisters, their traits doesn't replicate each other. Begs the question if it differs from person to person, or if these are unique cases. It's a very interesting thing to think about. I think we'll have a lot in store for whenever Tourdog decides to indulge in this. The second thing that I'm interested in is Ganon City, the home base for the military faction Illumina Federation. Besides the exception of Independent and Eclipse due to their special cases, we for the most part have traveled and seen the main base of operations for the majority of the factions. But right now, Illumina is still a mystery on that aspect. Illumina has multiple bases spread throughout Astra called Undercity, each with their own number and plays a different role when it comes to the war with the Eclipse sites. But the main topic of interest is Ganon City. So far, we've to even come close to visiting that place, which is interesting due to how much Navigator is forming a relationship with Illumina, or at least some of the members of the organization. You'd think we would have been visited this place since Illumina was the first faction we interacted with. Also, to take interest is that Ganon City has a queen mentioned in Vivian's files. Now, this could just be referring to Reinhardt at the time, but if not, then it'll make things more interesting. If there's an actual queen, it'll be interesting to see what kind of power she holds as Reinhardt leaves the military. Even still, there was that moment when Reinhardt was basically being put on probation by a committee. It really shows that there's still much to know about the system of power within Illumina. Who has says on what and who keeps who in check. After all, it does seem like there's a bit of greed for power going on in the background of things. And with the interactions we've had with the intelligent officer Eisen, I get the feeling there's gonna be a few people out there looking to get their hands on Navigator's belongings. We'll just have to see. The final thing I'm interested in is the relationship between Schwartz and Istvan, 2 leaders who run their own city. Yet at times, it feels like they work together behind the scenes. Not with one helping another in ruling their city, but keeping their own city in check so that one doesn't swallow the other. After all, there are times when it seems like there are business deals going on between the citizens of Lumopolis and Ubertron. I get the feeling that the rulers has done a lot that we don't know yet. Both for the most part are well-respected rulers of their cities and hold a lot of power. Yeah, they each got their own story and history, but it seems like at times their paths cross. For how I would put it, the times their paths would cross would be for a small moment, but lead to something bigger down the line. What makes me curious is thinking about what Istvan said at the end of chapter 11. We reside in the shadows of Lumopolis, and that's interesting. Oftentimes when you hear that one thing is a shadow of something, it means that the shadow often plays more gritty roles. 9 times out of 10 it will refer to assassinations or other forms of shady businesses. I'm quite interested to see more emphasis on that. Lumopolis and Ubertron are very different from one another, from their culture to how they conduct things. Sometimes they can fit the phrase 2 sides of the same coin, and this leads to Schwartz and Istvan being the rulers of this said coin. This may or may not become much of a particular main topic in the future of the game, but I think we'll continue to get hints and pieces about these 2 that will lead to future events. And that's it for now. There's still a lot more topics I'm curious to see if and when the game will explore them, but these 3 are on the very top of my list at the moment. Over a year into this game, and we have explored so much in Alchemy Stars. So much more to see and much more to experience. I can't wait.